Yo, what's good, gang? We are back for another Labyrinth / UFC breakdown, full fight card prediction, and this time we got what is top to bottom one of the best fight cards of all time. It's UFC 300. You already know what it is. We jumping straight into it. Very volatile fight starting off the card right here, guys. Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. This is a fight that I definitely do not see going the distance. I see whoever wins this fight, they like to get it done inside the distance. They like to go for the knockouts. Deiveson Figueiredo, definitely got to watch out for him on the feet. Very nasty guy on the feet, big power. He's also got slick submission game as well. Deiveson, he likes to sit back and counterpunch. He's got a very nasty counter left hook. He's very good with that, and also he's got good offensive wrestling, slick submissions, like I said, and those strong leg kicks as well. Cody Garbrandt, he's a guy who he also likes to counterpunch a little bit too, man. So for me, this fight comes down to, I see it coming down to who's going to be able to draw out the other guy and get their counterpunching game going. I think Deiveson could do well with that, with his leg kicks, draw out Cody, catch him with something, put him away. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Deiveson Figueiredo right here. Next up, Jim Miller versus Bobby Green. The old dog Jim Miller, guy is the only guy to fight it. UFC 100, UFC 200, now UFC 300. He's been around. He's still getting it done at this age, man. He's still getting it done against these younger guys. Grinder, just all over people. Pretty decent striking. Not the fastest guy, not the most athletic guy. Just gets it done with hard work. Ability isn't everything in this game, man. Bobby Green, he's got all the ability in the world. This guy, very slick striker on the feet. His boxing's really slick. One thing I don't like about Bobby Green coming into this fight, though, is the guy is a little bit too emotional for me. I think Jim Miller got in his head a little bit. He's coming into this fight a little bit over emotional for me, man. So I just think that Miller, if he survives, makes it ugly fight here, I think Miller can get it done. Give me the dog shot on Jim Miller right here. Next fight up, Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. This fight right here, you got a kind of a long, rangy kickboxer striker, Rodriguez, versus the shorter, stockier, more powerful, better wrestler, Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade would be very wise to get this fight to the mat. She works a offensive wrestling game in this fight. For game plan, she comes out there and really looks to take Rodriguez down. Huge advantage. She would have a huge advantage in this spot if she did that. Now, is she going to do that or not? That's going to be the big question. I don't know. I haven't really seen her wrestling all that much as a stick to a game plan type of thing, any type of game plan of coming out there and wrestling. I just don't see it from her that often. I'm going to have to go with Marina Rodriguez right here. Next fight, Jalin Turner versus Renato Moicano. This right here is a fight where very exciting matchup, man. Renato Moicano, he's that guy who's got some pretty decent striking. He's going to be trying to get a hold of Jalin Turner, though, and get this fight to the ground for sure, because if he stays on the feet with Jalin Turner, it's not going to be a good night for him. He can get it down and definitely find a submission, find a choke on Jalin Turner, you know, make this fight a war, make it an ugly fight, figure out a way to get to the body lock, get to the takedown, get to the back of Jalin Turner, do whatever he's got to do to do that, because if he can't, man, Jalin Turner way better than him on the feet. I think Jalin Turner can hang with Moicano a little bit on the ground. Turner not a bad grappler in his own right, and so I just see that being a huge advantage, because Renato Moicano definitely cannot stand and strike with Jalin Turner. So I gotta take Jalin Turner to get it done right here. Give me Jalin Turner inside the distance. Jalin Turner by finish. Next up, we got Sodiq Yusuff versus Diego Lopes. And one thing I like about Sodiq Yusuff in this spot is he's got pretty good shot selection, but I think he would benefit a little bit more from, you know, having some more shots to the body. He does have great offensive defense, but when he starts getting tired, he becomes much more hittable, much more easier to hit. Now, hopefully, his cardio will be better after a five-round war in his last fight. He should have really discovered the value of being more technical on the feet and having a good gas tank in that fight. Now, Lopes, he's a guy, you know, he's got kind of like basic footwork, kind of does, you know, does the same thing in and out, but he does like to land a big right hand. He's kind of a wild man. If he lands it on you, he can jump on you and finish you. So Sodiq Yusuff is going to have to, you know, really stay tight here. If he does, I think he should be have an advantage on the feet, and he should fend off with any takedown attempts from Lopes. So if he does that, I'd see Yusuff getting it done. Give me Sodiq Yusuff in this spot. Next up, we got Holm versus Kayla Harrison. Classic striker versus grappler match right here, guys. If Holm can keep this fight on the feet, she's got a clear advantage. She's the, you know, decorated boxer, kickboxer. She's got all the experience standing, and Kayla, you know, it's the same for her grappling. Judo world champion, you know, all the credentials. So if Kayla Harrison is able to get her hands on Holm, it's going to be right in her world, man. I think Holm's going to have some success in this fight. I do. I think she's going to be having some nice moments on the feet, because I don't think that Kayla Harrison's just going to be able to go in there and get every single takedown. But at some point, I do see Kayla just, you know, she looks like she had the weight cut. She got it down. She did it okay. I feel like she did all right, man. I think she's going to get on her game. She's going to get Holly down at some point and find the submission. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Kayla Harrison in this one. Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Kattar up next. It's another grappler versus striker matchup. If Calvin Kattar can defend off takedowns, keep this fight on the feet, he's going to be winning going away. He's way better boxer than Sterling. Sterling, he's got some tricky techniques himself, though. And one thing about Sterling is he doesn't necessarily have to get the takedown to be effective. He can just start a grappling exchange, get to your back. He's the human backpack, man. Call him that for a reason, man. I got Aljamain Sterling here. Crazy matchup up next. Jirí Procházka versus Aleksandar Rakic. Now, this fight, one thing you got to know about Jirí Procházka is he is an absolute wild man on the feet. He comes at people with just off-the-wall, crazy techniques. He's a savage. The guy will never stop. He'll never quit. He'll never go away. He's just a crazy guy on the feet, trying to take people out at all times. Rakic, he's more of a point fighter type guy, opportunistic grappler. He likes to keep the fight more, much more prettier and more technical on the feet. Now, Jirí is going to be looking to crash space right here. He's going to not want Rakic to be able to have that space to operate on the feet. He's just going to want to crash in on him, create a very ugly, nasty fight here. Now, Rakic, I think he does have all the skills in the world to be able to beat Jirí. Thing is about this fight, I don't see it coming down to skills. I see this fight coming down to just who's got more will to win, who's got more of that dog in them. I see that being Jirí, man. I think Yuri's going to be all over this guy. At some point, maybe Rakic just, winning the fight up until the point where he's not, man. I see Rakic probably controlling this fight on the feet a little bit, maybe grappling a little bit as well. And then it just at some point, Jirí just kind of steps on the gas and ends up getting to him, man. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with Jiří Procházka right here. Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage up. Matchup between two wrestlers right here, guys, and I think it's going to end up probably staying mostly on the feet. Usually get that grappler versus grappler. A lot of times it'll end up being on the feet, and if you think about it, Bo Nickal, he already knows he's a better wrestler than this guy anyway, so why not try to keep it on the feet? And, he's probably even a better striker on the feet than Brundage even. We just haven't seen too much of it yet. We haven't seen it. We've seen it a little bit, in his last fight. He looked okay. He looked pretty good. He looked decent on the feet. From what I saw, good timing, good power, setting shots up very nicely. Got a little bit of a step up in competition right here to Brundage. Brundage, he's got pretty good power on the feet as well. He can hang in there on the feet a little bit. Once this fight goes to the ground, though, it's gonna be Bo Nickal's world all day. I mean, there's not too many guys in the middleweight division who's going to be able to hang with Bo Nickal on the ground, and that's just going to be the bad thing for Cody Brundage right here. Maybe if it ends up staying on the feet a little bit longer, if he can try to extend Bo Nickal. We haven't really seen Bo Nickal, extended into any type of deeper waters at all, so maybe Brundage can try to play an outside game, just look to really, focus on that takedown defense. But that's the thing. Bo Nickal, he's also a pretty good striker. We just haven't seen it yet, I think. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Bo Nickal in this one. Maybe Brundage makes it to the second round, but at some point, Bo Nickal gets it done inside the distance. Give me Bo. Good lightweight matchup next. Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. This fight is going to come down to one thing: the pressure of Charles Oliveira. And I know that because Charles Oliveira fights the same way every time. He just comes out there, he puts immense pressure on you, he puts a ton of pressure on the guy, and he does that until he ends up getting caught. He ends up taking that shot, he gets caught, but then he goes down, and the guy either follows him down and gets submitted, or follows him down, submits him, or doesn't follow him down, and that's when Charles Oliveira starts his comeback, But, right here, I think Arman Tsarukyan is going to be that type of guy. He'll be, getting pressured. He'll be circling, But he'll also catch Charles Oliveira. But when he does, I think he's going to follow him down to the ground. I don't think he's going to be scared to go into his guard. And I think he can hang with him a little bit down there, man. He can mind his P's and Q's. I think he'll be all right. You know, Arman Tsarukyan, he's going to have a little bit better volume. You know, Charles will pressure, but Tsarukyan, he'll have, you know, more shots, more volume. And I think he'll be able to get into his game on the ground a little bit, use that grappling. He's in good shape. He's ready for this. Yeah, I like Charles Oliveira. I almost went with him here, but, you know, I had to change it. I think Arman, I just think it's his time, man. Honestly, I think he gets it done with his constant grappling, taking Charles down. I think he gets it done that way. He just grinds him out, man. I think the champion has a new name, and it's Arman Tsarukyan. BMF title on the line, Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. In this fight right here, guys, two fan favorites. Everybody loves these guys, man, because they come for war. But in this fight particular, I just think that both these guys are going to come in here with an attitude of, you know what, I want to be the guy to really put my opponent away. I think Max wants to finish Justin. He wants to be one of the only ones to do that. And I think Justin wants to be the first guy to ever really put away Max. Nobody's ever stopped Max. I think Justin wants to be the first guy to do it. So I see both these guys having that mindset, and I see them both. I just think this fight is just a car crash over and over again, where it's like they're both trying to finish each other, and it's just going to create such a chaotic fight at all times, man. This is going to be a real good war right here. And I do, you know, actually I think one of these guys is going to get it done. I think they're going to get that finish they're after. One of them, I mean, I just think both these guys, neither one of them is going to be denied. Whoever's going to win this fight, I really see them finishing the other guy, man. I don't see this fight going the full 5. I see somebody getting finished, and how I see it playing out, you know, I see Justin Gaethje going to the leg kick to try to slow Max down. Max is going to have the speed advantage, but if Justin can slow him down with the leg kicks, then he can start to work his jab, work his boxing on Max, accumulate the damage on Max. I just think he can take over, man, and at some point be the first to ever stop Max Holloway. It would be a great feather in his cap if he can. So, yeah, give me Justin Gaethje right here. Co-main event, Weili versus Xiaonan. So this fight right here for me really just comes down to the game plan, the mindset of Weili. Because if she comes into this fight and she makes the decision to stay on the feet with Xiaonan, if she makes that choice to stand up and try to box with her, kickbox with her, I'll tell you what, she could be in for a long night, because Xiaonan, very tricky on the feet, very nice kicks, good movement, very fast, good boxing as well. Just very tricky with her side kicks and different array of kicks that she uses, man. So if this fight stays on the feet, Xiaonan definitely has that ability to make it tricky, make it very hairy situation right here for Weili on the feet. But if Weili decides to go a much easier route in this fight and take this girl down, I mean, it's going to be Weili all day, man. Weili, way better wrestling, way better with her top game on the ground. She's going to be she's going to be working Xiaonan over, just working her over, man, all night. I see it. She's smart, and she is smart. I see her coming in here and using that game plan, getting the takedown. She saw what Rose Namajunas was able to do to her in that second fight when Rose came out there with that game plan of, you know, just work the takedown game, work that advantage. She saw how much of advantage that was, and I think she's going to do that now to Xiaonan. Give me Zhang Weili. All right, main event time, Alex Pereira versus Jamahal Hill. This is a great fight right here, guys. This is definitely a very evenly matched fight, a fight where anybody can win this fight. I think whoever's going to win this fight, though, in my opinion, is going to get it done inside the distance. I don't see the main event, UFC 300. I just don't see it going to the scorecards. I can't see it going the distance, guys. I just see this fight. If I'm betting it, I'm probably looking at the no distance. It's probably already steamed anyway, but that's just how I see this fight. But how it's going to go, Jamahal Hill, he's definitely going to be wanting to get inside kickboxing range, inside that, you know, boxing range, and let his hands go, try to shine with his hands. The guy's got really good power. Don't be surprised if Jamahal Hill comes in here and knocks out Alex Pereira in round one, guys. I mean, he's got that kind of power. He's that kind of explosive athlete. He can get it done that way, man. But Alex Pereira, he's also, you know, a guy who he can fight at any range. He can fight on the outside. He can fight on the inside. He can fight in the clinch. Both these guys, very good work in the clinch. I just think that Alex is a little bit better there, and Jamahal does like to fight in that clinch too. So that could be a good advantage for Alex Pereira. He's got a very tricky, very nasty clinch, elbows, knees, very, very nasty. One thing I noticed about Jamahal Hill, though, is a lot of times in exchanges, he can drop his right hand. It's just a bad habit that he's had for many years. You know, it's just, you know, it's one of those bad habits, and he cannot be doing that here, dropping that right hand, because Alex Pereira, you know, everybody knows it. The guy's got one of the nastiest left hooks in MMA, and if Jamahal Hill goes in there and drops that right hand, gets caught with that left hook, it's going to be game over, man. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Alex Pereira by finish right here. And if you made it this far, guys, massive shout out to you. As always, be sure to subscribe to Rabid Sports ENT on YouTube for the craziest live streams, the most entertaining sports content, and the very best MMA prediction competitions. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.